Welcome back to my YouTube channel Zoology Education. So today in this video we will discuss about that human cardiac cycle. So it is also most important for long question from second year zoology, intermediate second year zoology. So let us discuss the human cardiac cycle. So before that please subscribe my channel and like and share it. ఇప్పటి వరకు కూడా మీరు సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోకుండా ఉన్నట్లయితే దయచేసి సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి అండ్ లైక్ అండ్ షేర్ చేయండి. Okay, let us come to the point, human cardiac cycle. So human cardiac means the beginning of one heartbeat to the next heartbeat. It constitutes the cyclic, that is known as cardiac cycle. The beginning of one heartbeat to the beginning of next heartbeat constitute cardiac cycle. Okay, so in this cardiac cycle 3 events is there. So here cardiac cycle consists the 3 events or 3 phases. So one is atrial systole and second one is the ventricle systole and cardiac diastole. Third one is cardiac diastole. So it is the first one, atrial systole, ventricle systole, cardiac diastole. Okay, so here beginning of the one heartbeat to the beginning of next heartbeat. So it constitutes the one cardiac cycle. So in this cardiac cycle included 3 steps, I mean 3 events. One is the atrial systole and ventricle systole, then after the cardiac diastole. Okay, so let us come to the atrial systole. Before the atrial systole, the heart is in relaxation stage, the total joint diastole. Before the starting of the atrial systole, the heart is the which stage here? Relaxation stage. So before atrial systole, heart is in which stage? Heart is in relaxation stage, or it contains the total joint diastole. So in this stage, first heart is in this joint diastole state. Heart receive the blood. Receive the blood, total body parts. So through the pulmonary and 3 caval veins also. So heart, it means the word atria. So in this stage, we stage in joint diastole. Joint diastole stage, atria receives blood from body parts. So all here body parts through 3 caval veins and pulmonary veins. So okay, understood. So joint diastole atria receive the blood na total all body parts here. So lungs and also total body parts. So lungs through the from the lungs pulmonary, and except lungs all body 3 cavities. So 3 cavities, 2 precaval and 1 is the postcaval, open into the atria. So atria is, and here atria pump the blood, atria from the blood opens the what here, going to the ventricles. So from the atria the bloods open into the where, from atria, from atria bloods wherein going to the where, in ventricles through atrioventricular aperture, atrioventricular apertures. So and here in this stage AV valves, it means atrioventricular valves are open condition, and semilunar valves closed in this condition. So this is known as joint diastole stage. So first is what here, one heartbeat to the beginning of one heartbeat to the next beginning of the next heartbeat constitute the cardiac cycle. It is 3 events: atrial and ventricle systole, atrial systole, ventricle systole, cardiac diastole. So first before the atrial systole, the heart is in which stage? Relaxation stage. So this relaxation stage also called joint diastole stage, joint diastole. Okay. So in this stage the heart first of all receive the blood, all atria is the receive the blood from all parts of the body through the pulmonary and 3 caval. So 3 caval veins collect the blood from the body parts except lungs, and pulmonary veins only collect the blood from the lungs. Okay. So here both are, it means open into the 2 atrias, and atrias pump the blood to the where, in ventricle, atrioventricular aperture. So here the valves are open condition. Which valves are? AV valves, and semilunar valves are closed. Okay. Now in this stage is called the relaxation stage and joint diastole. Now now the heart is going to the which stage here? Atrial systole. Okay, let us discuss the atrial systole. Okay, right. Let us discuss the first one is the what? Atrial systole. Atrial systole. So here in atrial systole, the SAN generate the action potential. SAN generate. SAN means sinoatrial node. SAN generate action potential. SAN generate the action potential na. So these action potential initiate to the contraction of the true ventricle. So it causes the what? Two atria contractions. Two atria is the what? Contraction. Now here then the from atria the blood pump to where? The blood pump to where means leads into ventricles. Okay, right, ventricles through atrioventricular apertures, and here AV valves are opened. AV valves are open condition, and semilunar valves closed. Semilunar valves are closed condition. Okay, now only by this systole, only so by this stage 30% of blood, 30% of the blood pump to, or 30% of the blood flow from atria to ventricles. So remaining blood is always present. Remaining blood is a what here? Remaining blood is so remaining blood is already in before the atrial systole present. So here by this stage only 30% of the blood flow from the atria to ventricles. Okay, so this is which cycle? Atrial systole. It is it lasts about it means it take the duration 0.1 second. Okay, so this is the duration. So it is called atrial systole. Let us discuss the second stage. Second stage is a what? Second stage is a what? Ventricle systole. Just listen. Right. Right, next one. So, second one is the ventricle systole. So, from the sand, from the sand, the action potential reaches to AVN. AVN means atrioventricular node, sand means synatrial node. So here from the sand action potential reaches to where? AVN. So from AVN through bundle of his and its means what here? Bundle of and its branches and its Purkinje fibers. Okay, so first is the what? The sand action potential reach the weight AVN, and from the AVN through the bundle of his and its Purkinje fibers. So action potential reaches the what? Overall muscular wall of ventricles. So it causes ventricle systole. It causes the what? Ventricle systole. Okay, so first is the what? First is the what? Sand action potential reach the where? AVN. From the AVN reach the what? Bundle of his. Okay, from the bundle of his and its fibers, Purkinje fibers, the action potential passes to the muscular wall of ventricle. It causes to the what? Ventricle systole. So it lasts about the 0.3 seconds. Okay, so it is 0.3 seconds. So it is the cause. So in this stage what here? More increases. More pressure is the increases. Where increases? In ventricles. It causes closure of AV walls. Tricuspid and bicuspid, and it produces first heartbeat sound or first heart sound called lub. Okay, so again the air pressure again increases. So again the pressure increases. It causes the what? Opening of semilunar walls. When the opening of the semilunar walls, the blood pump the where? The blood flow into pulmonary and systemic, so aortic arches. So called here pulmonary and systemic arches. So this is second phase. So in atrial systole is the what generates the action potential. It causes the two atria is going to the contraction. From the atria, the blood pumped into the where ventricles. So here atrioventriculars, through the atrioventricular process, here AV valves are opened, then the blood is pumped into the ventricles. So only 30% of the blood is pumped during the atrial systole, and remaining all present before the atrial systole. Now here second stage is the what ventricle systole. Thus and it passes the action potential to the where AVN. So through the AVN, from the AVN it passes to the bundle of his, and from the bundle of his going to the fibers, that is the Purkinje fibers. It can divide into the two, left and right. So these two branches, the action potential reach the total walls of the ventricles. Now they initiate to the contraction of the ventricles. So now the ventricles undergoing to the contraction. It is known as ventricle systole, though it lasts about the what 0.3 seconds. So in this stage, the blood pressure is more increases. So it causes to the what closure of the AV valves. So when the closing of the AV valves, it produces the sound that is known as lub. So it is the heart first sound, and also AV valves close in, it prevents the black flow. Okay, and also again the pressure is the more increases, it causes to the opening of the semilunar valves, pulmonary valves and systemic valves. And this, when the opening of that valves, the blood is flowing into the where into the arches, pulmonary arch and systemic arch. So it is the ventricle. So next last one is the what here? Last one is cardiac diastole. Let us discuss the cardiac diastole. Just a minute. So okay, sorry. So this is cardiac diastole, right? So let us listen the last one, third one, cardiac diastole. Cardiac diastole. So it is called here. It lasts about 0.4 seconds. So it lasts about the what 0.4 seconds. So here the pressure is in ventricle. The pressure is the what decreases. The pressure decreases in ventricles. In ventricles, the pressure is decreases in ventricles. It causes closure of semilunar valves. Semilunar valves. Semilunar. So it is a valves, then produces heartbeat second sound. Second sound, that is called dub. So okay, the pressure decreases in ventricles, then it causes to the what closure of the semilunar valves. It produces the heart second sound is known as dub. Again the pressure also, again the pressure decreases. It causes opening of the AV valves. Now the blood, so which is the AV valves now, which is the blood, the pressure is coming through the atria. These atria's pressure is initiate to the pushing that opening of the AV valves. Okay now, so the pressure is the decreases in the where again pressure decreases, then here it causes to the opening of the AV valves. Okay, the pressure decreases. It causes to the what? Opening of the which valves? AV valves. Now the blood from atria to ventricles. Now the atria to ventricles blood flows. Okay, so this is the pressure again fall down. So again fall down means it causes to the what? Opening of the AV valves. So these AV valves, how can they open? The extracted from the what? Atria. The blood pressure is pushed to the what? Opening of the AV valves. Now the blood from atria to ventricles. Now the blood flow from. Now the heart is in which stage? Relaxation stage. Stage. Now it is also causes to the what? Or initiate to the again next step is the what? Ventricle systole. This is the cardiac diastole. So in this cardiac, it means the what? Cardiac output. One thing, cardiac output. So cardiac means here included stroke volume, and stroke volume means pumped by blood, the volume of blood pumped out by ventricle one heartbeat is called stroke volume. Here what? Stroke volume and cardiac output. It means the cardiac output. Stroke volume means the volume of the blood pumped out by ventricle. So each ventricle one heartbeat. It constitutes the stroke volume. So here the volume of the blood pumped out by the heart from each ventricle per minute. Per minute is considered as a what? Plate. So okay, so cardiac output, the stroke volume, the volume of blood pumped out by ventricle, one heartbeat. It is stroke volume. So about the 7%. So per minute is called if the volume of blood pumped out by ventricles per minute. It calls your cardiac output. Okay, so this cardiac output is equal to what here? Stroke volume into number of heartbeats per minute. Okay, stroke volume how much here? 70 ml into number of heartbeats what? 72 times per minute. It constitutes what? 5040 ml per minute. So approximately averagely 5 liters are blood is pumped. This is the cardiac cycle. So once again, what is a cardiac cycle? One heartbeat to the beginning of the one heartbeat to the beginning of the next heartbeat is a what? Constitute the cardiac cycle. 3 events: atrial systole, ventricular systole, cardiac death. So atrial systole, before the atrial systole is a what? Cardiac cycle is the in which stage? Relaxation stage. Okay, so in this relaxation stage, heart is the what? Receive the blood from the body parts and it opening into the ventricles. Okay, so heart is receive the blood from the body parts. From the atria, the blood is pumped in the where? Ventricles. So AV valves are opened, semilunar valves are closed. Now it is the relaxation stage. And next is the what? Atrial systole. The SAN generate the action potential. These action potential pause initiate to the contraction of the atria. Now the atria is pump the blood into the ventricles and AV valves are opened, semilunar valves are closed. Only 30% of the blood is pumped. and next what is the what ventricle systole. So sand passes the action potential to the where AVN. Now the AVN passes the action potential bundle of his, and bundle of his through the Purkinje fibers. Now heart is going to the total, ventricle is going to the contraction. So this contraction, and slowly in this state, slowly the atria is the relaxation. Now the pressure is more increases, then it causes to the closure of the AV valves. It can produce the first sound, that is known as slub. And again, so pressure more increases, then opening of the semilunar valves. Now the blood is pumped into the arches, pulmonary and systemic. Now the last stage is about cardiac diastole. So in this stage is the again pressure is the decreases, then here closure of the semilunar valves, then it can produce the second sound, that is known as dub. Again the pressure is a fall down in the ventricles, they initiate to the blood pumped into the atria, and these atria causes to the pressure to the on the AV valves, then AV valves are opened. Now the blood is pumped into the ventricles. Now heart is in relaxation stage. The total volume pumped volume is the 70 ml per 1 heartbeat. It per minute is the total approximately averagely 5 liter. Okay, so this is cardiac cycle. So hope you are all are understood. So it is the most important. Okay now. So before that, please subscribe my channel and like and share it. So in next video I will upload the next another important question. So keep watching and please subscribe my channel, like and share it. Okay, all the best.